Lee, it's great to catch up with you again. Let's start with the injury news then to Pip. What's been the sort of update from Tom?
Well, we haven't seen Tommy. He was with the men's first team last night, but Pip was at training, and I spoke to her Monday. She went to hospital on Monday. It's a suspected long-term injury, but really we're waiting till today. Actually, she goes to see a knee specialist today, so the actual outcome of that, I think she was told on Monday potentially no surgery, which was good news. But really, until you see the knee specialist, you don't really know. So I'll hear from her today. Fingers crossed. It's not as bad as we thought, but it still will be fairly long term. So we just need to make sure she stays involved and she gets the support and the rehabilitation and or strengthening whatever's needed really based off what we found today with any injured player you kind of need to know what we're dealing with and then look at timelines and then right what can we help and support with and get that in place straight away. So that's what we'll be doing with Pip today really is let's find out where exactly she's at, what the diagnosis is exactly, and then we can deal with those definites and move forward really for her.
So apart from that, then no new injury concerns and players coming back fit.
Yeah, everybody's fit. Everybody's raring to go. Trained last night. Good spirits at training. Really good numbers. Same again for Thursday. So yeah, we're in a really good place overall for now. So touch wood, we don't get anything in training, and we're ready for Sunday.
In terms of the home form this season, because there's only been 4 points taken at Ashby Avenue, how much of importance is then for the second half of the season that you really want to make, the home form really essential to not only get away from relegation zone, but also try and push up the table?
Yeah, it's key. I mean, you always want to be stronger at home. Sometimes you look at home form and you got to look at who you've played at home as well. And we played some good teams top half of the table, and they are strong as they always are. But yeah, Sunday it's a home game for us. We've got to start this year right with it really. And we've got three games coming up plus a county cup semi final. We could really put a run together now, but it won't be easy. The teams we're facing will be thinking the same thing for themselves. So yeah, we've got to stay focused, work hard in training, and bring that in. And something I thought on Sunday is that I'm starting to see change a lot is the togetherness of the squad and the real team feeling. And that's whether you're on the pitch or you're on the bench. The bench emptied on Sunday when we got a goal, and it's great to see that. When you've got a real togetherness with that and making the right environment. We're big on that as staff, and it takes time to do that, and we think we're heading in the right direction with that. So I'm quite excited about that because that alone can get you results. So the power is in the strength of the team and the togetherness, and I think we've got that in abundance at the moment.
I think yeah, absolutely. If it's in the highlights, I think you did see that togetherness as well. Do you think there's a potential steeliness that's coming into the team, like just that, like I said, that never say die attitude and getting those goals, and but something like this could be really key going forward.
Yeah, I think the moment for me was second half of Sunday, for example. Um, we conceded right before half time, which is good and bad. And the changing rooms were a little bit despondent and was a little bit down, and I get that. So I was really keen to see what we would do in the second half. We knew what we needed to do, but the players have to believe it and they have to do it. From a staff point of view, we've given our input. The players have to go out and play that. And I thought what was really good on Sunday is the demeanour didn't change. The togetherness was there. The belief was there and there was no panic. It's not like we started to change the way we played. We just kept playing the way we did, and we got chances and opportunities. And at some point, you're like, we will get one here. And the penalty was saved, great save, obviously. We put it in the corners, Liv put it where she needed to. Um, and you kind of think, is it going to be our day? But the players never lost hope because they showed that in their performance. And when I reflected on that Sunday night into Monday, I'm like, yeah, that's a huge positive to take away from that. And I shared that with the players at training on Tuesday in the meeting. So, yeah, I'm excited for Sunday, really, based on what we did last Sunday.
So with Sunday, then of course you're coming up against a couple of a few of your ex-players that you had at Lincoln City, Leah Hardy and Tony Hamilton, just to name a couple. Do you think it could add a little bit of extra spice?
Maybe from their point of view, perhaps, and that can be good or bad. I've seen positives and negatives when players do that. So, we've got a clear game plan, which we discussed last night, and we'll be going through certain things on Thursday to prepare for that. So yeah, it could go one of two ways, but not from our perspective really. We know what we need to do. We know how we're going to handle those players. They won't change the way they play or anything. So, and we're familiar with the sort of personalities that they are. So we'll be taking advantage of whatever we can really from that. Take note from them. Both those players you've named, and obviously they've got Millie as well. Good players. They did a good service for us at City, and we're very much part of that team. But yeah, it's one of them. When the whistle goes, it's their opposition. So it doesn't matter what history you've got or anything. You've got to play, and we're after 3 points, and they'll be wanting the same. So we just have to turn up and play, really.
Because you've got a pretty decent record against Notts County. Of course, you beat them in your last game when you were at Lincoln City. Can you take some comfort from that, or is it? Do you feel that it's going to be a totally different game, but you've got that little bit of a record against them?
Yeah, obviously as a staff we have, but it's the players that play the game. So I don't really look too much at records when you're with a new club and a new team and new players. And I think we're meeting them at the right time for us. We're in a good position health wise, with players and injuries. Really, we're strong. So yeah, we're getting them at a good time. We kind of have seen enough footage to know what we need to do, and the players are hungry for those 3 points. And you look at the next few games, it could really change our season for a real positive, really. And the points are there for the taking. But as I said, the opposition are thinking the same thing. So we're not taking it lightly. We'll take one game at a time, and we'll give 100% to try and get that, particularly at home, really, for the players. We need to start to make that a little bit of a fortress and somewhere where we know we're comfortable to get the points. And that helps with fan base and everything else as well, of course.
Because there's only 5 points between us and Notts County. They're up in seventh, and we're down in ninth. Do you feel that they could still be caught getting into the sort of final sort of half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, from our point of view, you're always wanting to look forward. You don't want to look behind. You're aware of what points people are behind you, but you've got to look forward. And County's one of those teams you look at and you're like, okay, if we get something on Sunday, then we close that gap, and then then we really start to move forward. And you're wanting to go up as high as the table as you can. That's the goal. And you don't want to keep looking behind you and worrying about the teams behind you. So you've got to look forward, and you've got to start reeling those teams in. And Sunday's a good starting point for us against County, because it's a 6-point game in terms of where you are in the league. So you're right, you're 7 points off, and then you take 3 from that, and you close that gap. And then that's what you need to be doing. You need to set some goals within it, and that's one of those. And they'll be probably doing the same with the teams around them, not wanting us to catch them and trying to move a little bit up the table in that direction. So yeah, we want to close that gap on County 100%, and that is our goal, to be honest.